Thank you for joining me here today. We are gathered today on the traditional territory of the signatories of Treaty 7, and I'd like to acknowledge the Métis people of Alberta who share a deep connection and history with this land. Last Thursday, the UCP government quietly published an expense report related to the Allan inquiry that detailed how Mr. Allan spent his $3.5 million budget. This so-called inquiry was a year late, $1 million over budget, and failed to prove any wrongdoing. All we know after more than 2 years of work is that Mr. Allan and friends of the UCP collected hefty paychecks at the expense of Alberta taxpayers. Allan collected almost $400,000 in salary over 2 years' work, and his executive director was paid $240,000. The expense report shows the commission paid $1.2 million to Denton's after Allan awarded the law firm a sole source contract. A contract that drew criticism because Steve Allan's son is a partner at Denton's. I'm concerned that we don't have any detailed accounting on how Denton and for what. The inquiry paid over $100,000 for 3 research papers that have previously been described by experts as, quote, junk climate denial science and, quote, bizarre conspiracy theories. These include a paper by Barry Cooper, a University of Calgary professor who funneled money to Friends of Science, a climate change denial organization with ties to the federal Conservative Party. Another $35,000 was paid to Vivian Krause, despite her previous work already being publicly available, which basically amounts to a very expensive Google search. Allan was initially supposed to have the report submitted by July of 2020 at a cost of $2.5 million. However, he was given 4 extensions and an additional $1 million to complete the report, only to find no wrongdoing. The report concluded that, quote, no individual or organization, in my view, has done anything illegal. Indeed, they have exercised their rights to free speech, end quote. Our energy industry is no further ahead due to this inquiry. Instead, it's done damage to our international reputation and scared away investments and jobs. But this isn't an isolated incident. Rather, the UCP's entire Fight Back energy strategy has faced multiple embarrassing scandals. The organization hired a failed UCP candidate, plagiarized logos, impersonated and attacked journalists, tried to intimidate a school district, gave a sole source contract to Friends, and attacked a children's movie. The UCP has done serious damage to our ability to present Alberta as a mature and responsible energy leader. In addition, the UCP lost $1.3 billion of taxpayer money on Keystone XL by gambling on Donald Trump's re-election. So as Jason Kenney travels to the U.S. to speak to senators about Alberta's energy industry and the relationship between the two countries, I am deeply concerned because he has done nothing to improve that relationship. The UCP's energy strategy has failed. They were elected to deliver on market access, but they have failed to deliver on that promise. We need to advocate for our industry, and we did while we were in government, in a grown-up, responsible, and outcome-focused manner. It was Rachel Notley and Alberta's NDP who made sure the Trans Mountain expansion was built. We did this by building support for the project across the country, by making reasonable arguments. And unlike the Allan inquiry in the War Room, every penny we spent of that work was publicly reported in detail. The NDP government will bring an end to these UCP scandals. We'll shut down the War Room. We'll bring stronger partnerships with our allies so we can get our products to market and create good.
So last week the Premier said that the message he wants to deliver to Washington is that Alberta's oil is responsibly produced, both in the fact that it's not a dictatorship here and we've made environmental strides. I'm wondering, What, if anything, would you do differently if you were in his shoes presenting to this U.S. Senate committee?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I think what you've reported Mr. Kenney as saying, sorry, I'm just repeating it because it's not available on the live stream apparently. What you've reported Mr. Kenney as saying, which is that, and Democratic record, I think those things are correct insofar as they go. I just hope that Mr. Kenney can actually follow that tone and not do what he's done in past, which is to say, name-called leaders from the United States, brought down a war room that attacked a children's movie. So these things are not things that make us look credible to international investors. And my hope is that we can make a better case, because Alberta does have an excellent case to make. The UCP have just done a bad job of making it.
Did you follow up with that?
No, that's okay, thanks.
Okay. I see no other questions for today. Oh.
Okay, thanks so much.
Thanks so much for watching, and to learn more, check out albertasfuture.ca.